Third work study session will begin. We'll start with officials' reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Good evening, everybody. What a glorious day. Days like this is why we live in Michigan. Our 50th annual Heritage Day celebration is upon us. Our carnival, Elliott's Amusements, will be operating from tomorrow, June 4th, through Sunday, June 7th. Their new location is located along Eureka Road in the parking lot west of Logan's Roadhouse. Our municipal activities will take place this Friday and Saturday. Friday evening will feature the all school, all class reunion from 9 p.m. or from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Our historical foundation will have all the yearbooks and other memorabilia on display from our 4 high schools, being Southgate High, Schaefer High, Aquinas, and Southgate Anderson. It's a great way to reconnect with fellow alumni members. At 7 p.m., there will also be a mayoral cornhole match featuring Riverview Mayor Andy Swift, Lincoln Park Mayor Maureen Tobin, Taylor Mayor Tim Woolley, and myself. Each city will hold a similar competition at their respective summer festivals. Friday's headline entertainment will feature 50 amp cues from 7 to 10 p.m. Excuse me. Saturday, inhaled something there.
Want my mask?
Dramatic pause, that's what I was going for. Yeah, I'm getting your allergies.
Allergies.
Saturday is full of activities. Day kicks off with our annual Heritage Days Parade starting at 11 p.m., or 11 a.m. rather. The route starts at Grogan School and heads south down Burns to Market Center Park. Special this year will be the City of Southgate's float honoring the nation's 250th anniversary. It was funded by our DDA and brought to life with the help of our DPS and Recreation departments. I would also like to acknowledge the artistic work of 2 of our employees, Corey Agriwa and Sydney Robinson, for creating the iconic 7-foot American Eagle. The Patriotic Float will also be seen representing Southgate at Wyandott's 4th of July Parade, at our July 3rd concert, and throughout the season at Market Center Park. Following the parade will be the extremely popular Taste of the Town event from noon to 2 p.m. This year's attendees will also have the opportunity to sample delectable items from 24 area restaurants and local food providers. The Downriver Community Federal Credit Union will once again be hosting a Heritage Classic Car Show from noon to 4 p.m. in their parking lot off Trenton Road. Saturday's live entertainment will start with Little Davy and the Diplomats during the Taste of the Town, with the evening lineup featuring Wisteria from 5 to 7 and Sunset Boulevard from 7 to 10 p.m. For more information and complete schedule of events, please look at our Heritage Days insert in the latest edition of the Southgate Star or visit our city website. I would also like to thank our DPS and Recreation departments for the dedicated work this week as we prepare to welcome hundreds of visitors to Market Center Park. Also, special thanks to the DDA, our sponsors, and volunteers who help make Heritage Days a success. Our 2026 Markets and Concerts in the Park series will begin on Tuesday, June 16th, and continue through August 11th. The only exception will be June 30th due to the 4th of July holiday weekend that week. Each week, the markets will start at 4:30 p.m. with the bands performing from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a great way to spend the summer evening here in Southgate. Hope to see many of our residents at these free family-friendly concerts. And speaking of concerts, Southgate will be hosting a patriotic celebration honoring our nation's 250th anniversary on Friday, July 3rd at our Southwinds Golf Course. The festivities include food trucks and a live concert featuring the Schoolcraft College Jazz Band under the direction of Dr. Rick Selva, who is a local resident and went to school here. I used to was his band camp counselor back in the 80s. So he's enriched in Southgate and really wanted to give back to the community. This is a free event sponsored by our DDA. Please bring a lawn chair or blanket to sit on. Things are scheduled to get started, at least from the band perspective, at 7 p.m. We're still working on whether the event will start earlier for the food trucks. And then fireworks will follow the concert. This will be a great way to enjoy our nation's historic milestone. So please join us as Southgate celebrates America. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Madam Clerk,
No report, thank you.
Mr. Treasurer,
No report.
Councilman Price,
No report.
Councilman Roush,
Report.
Councilman Graziani,
No report.
Councilman George.
No report. Everybody's excited about all the summer events, and they're especially looking forward to the parade Saturday, and we're praying that it doesn't rain on our parade. And that's all, Madam Chair.
Councilman Ayers-Ruiz,
No report.
Councilman Gollak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The DDA did meet on May 21st, and as the mayor indicated, we discussed a lot of the summer happenings in town. DDA Director Maria Gully wanted to make sure we reviewed with all the business folks that are on the DDA, the Heritage Days Parade and Float, the car show, which the credit union graciously sponsors again this year, the entertainment, which is an upgrade from previous years, and the Taste of the Town, which most people don't know that Kim Cuspa actually heads that committee and is instrumental in getting the restaurants to show up. So that's an awesome job.
I haven't seen her in 2 weeks, but thank you.
As far as the events update, she talked about the concerts in the park and the anniversary event. And again, most people don't know that it costs about $1,000 a minute to put on fireworks. And so we're really grateful of Dick Genthy for generating most of that cost. And so when you see folks advertised as the presenting sponsors, that's what they do. They just don't put their name out there, they put their money out there as well, and we appreciate that. Maria also talked about the budget report. And again, sponsorships are the main way that all of these events are funded, whether it's the winter events or the summer events. And the majority of the events are covered by sponsorships. And so we want to thank those businesses in the community as well. As far as marketing, she talked about the banners with the student art, and I believe I just saw them in the back room. I'm not sure when they're going to be installed, but that's something that we've been looking forward for a long time. So we'll get those banners up as soon as we can. And then also, there's a company called Destination Downriver, which provides videos, mainly seen on Facebook and other social media. In fact, today, they posted a video with Maria and Kim highlighting the Heritage Days Festival this weekend. And so always a good chance to have other advertising on social media. And then the big item was the action item. The board authorized the spending of up to $37,000 to pursue a public art installation at the library. And more details to come. Thank you.
Mr. Marsh, please, for the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening. Earlier today, I shared a memo from the Finance Director indicating the motion from the last meeting regarding the water rates had the dates of 2025, 2026. So we're asking tonight that before the minutes are approved, that there'd be a motion to amend the minutes to indicate that the water rates are for the 2026, 2027 proposed rates. Were there any questions on that item? Okay. Going on to Communications A, the first item is a request for a public hearing for the Aquinas High School Brownfield redevelopment plan. The full plan has been included in your packet. At the May 20th Brownfield Authority meeting, the board voted to recommend approval of the plan to the City Council. The proposed Brownfield plan is consistent with the site plan that's being reviewed right now by the Planning Commission. The administration is recommending a public hearing be held on the July 1st, 2026 council meeting. Prior to the public meeting, the administration will send the required notifications to the public and any affected taxing jurisdictions. Are there any questions from council on this item?
Madam Chair, I don't have a question, but it is quite extensive, and I do have a few questions on it. I would like to make sure that it is available at the clerk's office for the public to come in and view, because there's a lot of information in there.
Certainly, yep. If there's no other questions, I'll go on to the second item, and that's the mayor's appointment of Barb Harness to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a term expiring December 2027. This appointment is to replace or to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Jake Orman. Any questions on that item? Okay, the last item under Communications A is a request for approval of grant writing services from JW2 Consulting and the not to exceed amount of $6,000. These services are for an assistance to firefighters grant for a new ladder truck. Since the agenda packet has been put together and the recommendation letter was drafted, Fire Chief Graves has informed us that the amount of the grant writing services will actually not exceed $3,000. The reduction there is primarily due to JW2's history with the city in consulting for this particular grant. Are there any questions from council on that item?
Madam Chair,
Councilman George.
no questions, but I am glad to see that he is getting assistance with it. He does do a good job, but by getting a grant writer to help him, they can make sure that all the bases are covered. And this is a good grant to get.
Yeah, I'll say that this is, we're looking, this could be $1 million grant for a fire ladder truck, which are extremely expensive. So this would be, if we were to get this, would be a
And
huge,
it's good,
huge win
it
for the
was good
city.
that he caught it.
Madam Chair.
Councilman Golick.
Mr. Marsh, did you want the memo or the motion to be changed to 3,000 then?
I think it'd be appropriate to change it from 6,000 to 3,000, knowing that we won't exceed that amount.
Thank you.
That concludes the items on the agenda, but I would like to just address a couple other issues that have kind of come up over the last few days, if I may. Okay. The first is priority waste. Priority failed to complete 3 separate yard waste routes last week, at the end of last week. We've had some conversations with the municipal rep. I understand that it was partly, they're saying it was partly due to high volumes, the holiday, and then some vehicle failures they had. I understand that this also affected some other communities in the area as well. Obviously, it's not acceptable regardless of the reasons why. And I just wanted to note that the contract that the council approved in 2025 does include, does call for penalties for failure to complete routes. So those penalties will be assessed on the next invoice that we receive from Priority.
Madam Chair.
Councilman Golick.
Today on Facebook, Murray Tobin from Lincoln Park posted much of the same information. Could we do that as well from the mayor's office? I'm not sure how many people do Facebook, but it gets out to a lot of people.
Well, I mean, we actually wanted to get Priority to actually post something.
That'd be nice.
And we requested that early part of this week, was it last week or early part of this
We-
week, with the idea that, you know, they own this issue. We're reacting to it. They should, and it's been tied up between their legal department and somebody else. So we're gonna ultimately have to put something out there. But our intention was initially to have Priority do it so that, you know, people would understand, the residents would understand it is their issue that they created.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Councilman George.
Yeah, I did see, I don't know if it was on Facebook or wherever, that they said that they would be collecting it on our regular trash day. And I've had some out, and as I've been driving around the neighborhoods, if they thought that they had a lot last week that they couldn't pick up, they've got even more this week.
Right.
So I hope that they can live up to their promise that they get it on our trash day this week. I know, Mayor, you still have yours in front of your house.
Did a lot of yard work that weekend.
So I hope that they can pick it up. If not, we're going to really have a problem in this city because it doesn't sit very well out there for a long time,
No, it's very
especially in the
frustrating.
paper bags.
And adding to that, there's not a lot of competition, and that's the real issue. We had a lot of people in that business, it would be a different story, but the lack of competition, because the actual financial commitment to get into that business with every truck costing $250,000 or more, you know, it's hard to get, you know, anybody to compete with them. So that's been the real problem even when we went out to bid on it. So, but you're right, they've committed now, starting today, they were supposed to do both weeks pickups for yard waste. We'll hear tomorrow, we'll get a report tomorrow whether that actually happened.
If I may, there's one other thing I'd like to address. Some of the members of council received a question on the city's stance on data centers. The city doesn't actually have an official stance per se or a policy on data centers, but like any use, the zoning ordinance and the master plan would inform how we would respond to a data center being proposed in the city. In the master plan, there's a section called the future land use, and that identifies the M1 district as, which is generally along I-75 and Reek Road, kind of where we have some of the larger hotels. That would be the appropriate zone for high-tech or light industrial uses. Data centers are not specifically called out or listed as a permitted use. However, depending on their design and the characteristics of the proposal, they may be considered consistent with the zone. One thing to keep in mind with data centers, I know it's kind of a buzzy thing right now, is that they do vary significantly in size There's one that's been in the news called Stargate out in Saline Township. It's 250 acres, a $16 billion investment in that community. So that's huge, and it's obviously causing quite a stir. And then there's much smaller ones, like one being proposed in Allen Park, which is just 50,000 square feet. Southgate is pretty much built out, and we're very limited on where they could even go. So if one were to be permitted in or proposed in Southgate, it's likely it would be on the smaller scale of a data center. The other thing to keep in mind is that the M1 district has certain rules and guidelines that are part of the site approval process. And so if one were to go into the M1 district, it would still have to meet all those standards. Those standards go around things like noise, glare, vibrations. They have to be completely enclosed. And all of those things would be reviewed and approved prior to a building permit even being allowed. So if one were to go even be proposed in Southgate, there would be a lengthy review process before anything would get going. So I wanted to share that today because it was a question that all the council received.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
We'll reconvene at 7:00. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Golick.
Here.
Councilman Price.
Here.
Councilman Roush.
Here.
Councilman Ayers Reese.
Present.
Councilman George.
Here.
Councilman Graziani.
Present.
Councilman Cuspa.
Here. Item motion to approve the work study meeting minutes dated May 20th, 2026.
Madam Chair,
Councilman George.
I move to approve the work-study meeting minutes dated May 20th, 2026.
Support.
Motion by George, supported by Roush. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Item motion to amend and approve the regular city council meeting minutes dated May 20th, 2026 to note that the 25-26 water rates is actually the 26-27 water rates. Hello?
Madam Chair.
Councilman Golick.
I'll make a motion that we amend and then approve the regular council meeting minutes dated May 20th, 2026, and make sure that the water rates were changed from 25-26 to 26-27.
Support.
Motion by Golick, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. No scheduled person in the audience, no consideration of bids, and no scheduled hearings. First item under Communications A is a memo from the administrator regarding the public hearing request for former Aquinas High School Brownsfield plan. Madam Clerk.
On May 20th, 2026, the Southgate Brownfield Redevelopment Authority met to review a proposed brownfield plan for the former Aquinas High School. The plan proposes a removal of asbestos and demolition for the school building, the construction of between 100 to 148 market-rate townhouse-style apartments, and a self-storage facility. The developer is requesting a total of $6,523,178 in reimbursable cost, of which a maximum of $4,020,000 would come from local taxing jurisdictions. Full reimbursement is expected to take 14 years. However, a maximum reimbursement period of 20 years has also been included. The total project cost is estimated to be $30 million, with an estimated initial taxable value at approximately $9,700,000. The Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board voted to recommend approval of the plan to council. Therefore, the administration recommends a public hearing be held on July 1st, 2026 to take public comment on the plan per the requirement established by Public Act 381.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman George.
I move to establish a public hearing during the regularly scheduled council meeting on Wednesday, July 1st, 2026 at 7 p.m. regarding the proposed former Aquinas High School redevelopment brownfield plan pursuant to the Brownfield Redevelopment Financing Act, Public Act 381 of 1996 as amended. Further, the city clerk is directed to provide notice of the public hearing in accordance with the requirements of Public Act 381 of 1996 as amended, including publication and availability of the proposed brownfield plan for public inspection prior to the meeting.
Support.
Motion by George, supported by Roush. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Madam Chair, just
Mayor.
was brought up in the work study by Councilwoman George that copies of the plan will be available at the clerk's office as well. So I know she made a point of that, and I would just want to make sure that in the meeting we also state that.
Next is letter from the mayor regarding the appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Madam Clerk.
Please be advised that I have made the following appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a term expiring December 2027. Barb Harness. This appointment will fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Jake Orman. Your concurrence on this appointment is appreciated.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Roush.
I make a motion we concur with the mayor for the appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals of Barb Harness for a term expiring December 2027.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by Price. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Last is letter from the mayor regarding the approved grant writer consulting fee. Madam Clerk.
I have reviewed the above and concur with the fire chief's recommendation to approve the payment for grant writing consulting services provided by JW2 Consultants in the amount of $3,000. The AFG grant application will apply for assistance in purchasing a new ladder truck for the fire department. Funds are available in the general fund fire department budget. Your concurrence on this matter would be greatly appreciated.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman Gulick.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consulting fee agreement with JW2 Consultants in the not to exceed amount of $3,000 for assistance in preparing and writing the Assistance to Firefighters Grant application for the purpose of purchasing a new ladder truck for the fire department.
Support.
Motion by Gulick, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Nothing under communication fee and no ordinances. Is there any old business the council would like to discuss? Seeing none, is there any new business the council would like to discuss?
Madam Chair.
Councilman Gulick.
I had a little talk with Mr. Marsh over the weekend about a couple folks who were in violation of the lawn weed cutting ordinance. And if you could just reiterate for the residents and whoever may be watching what those qualifications are.
Yeah, so for proper lawn maintenance is less than 8 inches. If it goes beyond that, the ordinance officer may issue a warning or citation. If it's still not addressed, it ends up going on a citywide cut list, and the city sends our contractor out there to cut the grass down, and it's then the cost of that is then billed to the homeowner.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Seeing none, we move on to unscheduled person in the audience. If you'd like to address council, come to the podium, state your name and address. You'll have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we move on to claims and accounts. Councilman Roush.
Move to approve warrant 1546 in the amount of $3,542,057.86.
Support. Motion by Roush, supported by Ayers Reese. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair.
Councilman Ayers Reese. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Support.
Motion by Ayers Reese, supported by